Judon has another for the Patriots back in the 28.
Turn that man loose.
The Patriots Postgame Show, presented by Cybereason, with Hardy, Mike Dussault, and Paul Perillo, is your source for all the news and information following every Patriots game.
Shotgun snap to Mac Jones. Fires to the end zone. Caught at the goal line. It's a touchdown for Hunter Henry as the Patriots add to their lead.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
I hope y'all keep that same energy for tonight, baby. Can't wait.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Slipping and sliding, he was like a cat. Pop, pop, bang. The Patriots keep their playoff hopes alive with a win today over the Dolphins at Gillette Stadium. Welcome into the Patriots postgame show presented by Cybereason. Hardy, soon to be joined by Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault as the Patriots get the 23-21 win over the Dolphins in a game that appeared to be over a couple of different times. Dolphins did make it interesting, scoring there in the final minute and trying for the onside kick, which did not work, so the Patriots retained possession, kneeled down a couple of times, and that's it. What was likely the final plays at Gillette Stadium for a couple of players, including Matthew Slater, perhaps Devin McCourty, who had a chance at an interception in the game today, unfortunately did not go his way. But a couple of other big picks for the Patriots defense today really ended up being the turning point for this game. Once again, Patriots postgame presented by Cybereason. We welcome you to join us here at 855-PATS-500, web radio at patriots.com. There's a lot to get to on our good, bad, and injured list today. Unfortunately for the injured, one of those includes Jakobi Meyers, who left the game after scoring the final touchdown for the Patriots. Landed awkwardly, appeared like maybe it had the wind knocked out of him. Turns out he went to the sideline, shoulder pads off, and it was announced he would not return with a shoulder injury. So we'll be paying close attention to what we learned about Jakobi Meyers here in the coming minutes, hours, days, leading into the regular season finale next week in Buffalo against the Bills. Still also waiting on the announced time for that game. But the important thing is, with the win today, Patriots improved to 8-8, and with the win over the Bills in Buffalo next weekend, they make the postseason. Some other wild games going on in the NFL today, including a big win for the Lions. They win rather resoundingly, rather easily after trailing early against the Bears. They end up winning 41-10, so the Lions have a chance at the playoffs also. Looking at some other games right now, we had mentioned the Kansas City game earlier today. Has that gone final, our Kansas City Denver game? I'm looking for the final on that right now. 27-24, Kansas City holds on to beat the Broncos only by 3, despite being a 12.5-point favorite in that game. So lots to talk about here around the league, but specifically with this win for the Patriots today. Once again, over the Dolphins, 23-21 at Gillette Stadium. Mike Dussault now in studio along with Paul Perillo. I took a little nappy nap right around the third quarter of that game. I was telling the boys, right there in the booth, I said, we went to a commercial break. I said, the game, unfortunately, no offense anyone, is not doing enough to hold my attention. Yeah. It took a minute, took a while. Things got interesting, and I think mostly the defense for keeping it interesting for the Patriots today.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I mean, Kyle Duggar, that was what you needed. I mean, I don't think we learned anything new. This was a 2022 Patriots victory. This is what they look like. Got a defensive score, back that up with, another interception. Teddy Bridgewater got hurt. We got down to Skylar Thompson. You got a couple third down conversions on penalties. They were able to, score the first drive of the game, the last drive, or second and last drive of the game. Nothing pretty, but a much-needed win, and they got it.
Yeah, I've been mostly positive, waiting for you guys to show up here, but that is the sub-headline of the Patriots playoff hopes alive with 23-21 win over the Dolphins at Gillette Stadium. Sub-headline, what do you call it? The
black.
I don't know what you call in the newspaper biz, but there's like beat a ninth string quarterback by 2 points. I mean, that's
well, when you put it that way.
Yeah, I mean the kid who came in for the Dolphins, he had some scrambling abilities. He made a very nice throw there on the final score for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
But other than that, it looked like he was given the instructions: do not throw the ball more than 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
I'm not sure if he's able to.
I don't know if he's able to.
I mean, it's just. I mean, you'd think Teddy Bridgewater with those gloves that his finger would have been a little bit more protected, but apparently not.
Well, they don't make a lot of these players like they used to, and I was surprised to see Bridgewater not come back into the game. He's flexing his hand on the sideline. He went to the tent for a long time. I'm like, really?
Rub some dirt on it. Get back in there.
Yeah, it just seems like one of those
Was
things.
this the play? Oh, I haven't even seen it. Thanks,
would have been
guys.
able to.
All right.
He hit Josh Uche's hand,
making an impact
on the follow through
on Teddy Bridgewater's hand.
It didn't seem like that big of a deal, but what do I know? Paul, how are you?
The game ended on that play. I mean,
Pretty
it's
much
as simple as that. He broke his finger, and then like 2 plays later, he throws a pick six. Unbelievably, the 4th straight game that the Patriots defense has scored a touchdown, and that was the game. I really think the game was going down to maybe like a last-second possession by somebody until that play. And I think the Dolphins' ability to win the game ended when Skylar Thompson had to come in.
Essentially, that was it. And, I forget who the receiver was who was warming up on the sideline as their emergency backup. But, that's what they were looking at.
He took a couple of big hits, too, Thompson.
Yeah. It as bad as it was for the Dolphins today, it was about to get worse in terms of who they had to bring in a quarterback. But the important thing is for your Patriots, at 8-8, a win next week in Buffalo secures them a spot in the postseason. We were just discussing beforehand, before we get to the good, the bad, and the injured. There is a scenario in play, or scenarios in play, where the Patriots could lose next week and still make the postseason.
Yeah, they need a lot of help.
They would need a lot of teams to lose.
Some kind of a parlay.
They would need
by a certain amount. Are we talking about score aggregate now?
No.
Is that like a goal aggregate thing?
They'd need Pittsburgh to lose a game, I believe. They'd need Tennessee to lose. They'd need the Jets to lose. They don't need all of those things to happen. Oh, no, actually, no, they do. They need the Jets to lose this game, and then they need Tennessee to lose. No. Check that. They need Tennessee to win.
Okay. Jets are currently trailing Seattle 7-0.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm not
first.
going to do this. I'm giving myself a popsicle headache already.
No. I'm just saying
I think if Jacksonville loses next week to Tennessee and Tennessee wins the division, Jacksonville goes to 8-9.
Okay.
Jacksonville would go 8-9 over the Patriots 8-9.
In the interest of accuracy is all. It is not accurate to say the Patriots must win next week to make the playoffs. There is at least another way in right now.
Correct.
So we'll leave it at that for now. And we'll get to our good, the bad, and the injured list. Let's go.
Now it's time for the good,
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
the bad,
Hey, what happened?
and the injured.
You all right, guy?
Good, the bad, and the injured, brought to you by the good players, the bad players, and the injured players. One of them toward the end of the game that could really impact how things go next week. But we'll start with the goods. We'll start with you, Paul. Let's see, who do you got? Oh, did you expect me up first, Mike?
No, I don't have expectations.
Yeah, it didn't.
I know.
Didn't happen for
I'm
you.
always just
Go ahead, Mike, because I'm scrapping.
Didn't happen for you.
I mean, I got to give Duggar credit for pick six. I mean, I don't
Play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. I mean, the game, as you said, Hardy. I don't know if I was ready to take a nap, but it was just kind of settling into punts back and forth. But he made another play. I mean, they rattled off all the records that were set on this play. I think it was the 7th defensive score for the Patriots this year, a 3rd touchdown this year for Kyle Duggar. And it's just, this is what this team absolutely needs. Great run by him too. I mean, I think that might have been the best part of it. Talking about like Marcus Jones' return, this wasn't quite that, but I mean, as you can see right here, just breaking tackles, getting around guys, stopping, and just critical points, and this is what this team absolutely needs to win games. Kyle Duggar, I don't think that it's been a huge breakout season for him, but I think it's been a solid season. He's made some really key plays this year.
Big plays.
If he can just find a little consistency here as we go into year 4, I think the Patriots have a very good player. But he was huge.
I don't want to go crazy with it, but I saw it obviously as it happened. Watched the replay a couple of times, watching it a couple more times now. The poise, the patience, the stiff arm at the end. That's a hell of a run back, as good as the pick itself was, which was good.
There it is, yeah.
Everything to get into the end zone. You got
It's
to
a little.
Give him
It's a little. Paul talks it too. I mean, he returned punts in college, and it's a little taste of his ability in the open field to
I've been
make
calling
something
for
happen.
it. Yeah. But yeah, that's. I mean, I don't mean to sound like dramatic, but that's the play of the game. I don't think they win the game if that doesn't happen.
No.
If that's an incomplete pass, I don't think the Patriots win the game.
No, absolutely. You're not being overly dramatic. You're being factual. I think.
Well, I mean, it's easy to sit there and look at the points at the end and take 7 away. It doesn't work like that. There was still a lot of time left. I don't think the Patriots were going to mount a scoring drive. I don't.
Look, I have the ability to operate in a parallel universe, and I played that game out without that pick six, and they lost. So just so you know, you're right. Okay.
Congratulations.
Alternate reality.
But that I had him, as well as Deuce. So I had him.
Multiverse. Thank you, Marine Matt.
I had him strongly on my good list just for that one. Sometimes you get on for a play. I
mean,
say it all. I say it every week.
I think there's going to be a few of those today.
When you play, when you make the play of the game, that's worthy of being on the good list.
I'm going to end up going chronologically, but Paul, you're up next.
Well.
You keep it down out there. We're doing a Patriots postgame show presented by Cyber Reason, please. I'll go. Tyquan Thornton, opening drive, big catch, touchdown reception. He had issues in the game after that, but just chronologically, to go out there and score, opening drive, put 7 on the board, kind of, jump out to an early lead.
Yep.
It was so important, and it was
fast start.
The big start that you were looking for.
I wish it were indicative of what the Patriots offense were going to be offering up for the rest of the game, but it did not go that way. But for Tyquan Thornton to go out there and play the way he did on that opening drive, huge amount of credit. We'll put a hold on our good list while we talk to Dietrich Wise right now on the Patriots postgame show after the 23-21 win over the Dolphins. Dietrich, thanks for joining us. Congratulations. Great win.
Thank you.
Dietrich, another score for you guys. A huge play in the game by Duggar. Just what the personality of this defense. You guys, it seems like you're scoring every week. Are you coming to expect that you guys are just going to make big plays like this every game?
That's what we do. Our job is to get the ball back to the offense, and then if we can score, then that's as a bonus. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do all week, work on stopping the run, getting after the quarterback, and then if we can create turnovers and also capitalize on the turnovers and get a touchdown, that just adds to the a little bonus week,
Yeah, you guys up front, you're not really holding up your end of the bargain. They're all the touchdowns are coming from the secondary. When you're going to get in on the act, Dietrich?
Yeah, come on.
We try not to knock the ball out, but every time the ball's down, some guys pretty fast. They come pick it up or come scoop it up and they take it to the house. So, hey, as long as we keep forcing it out, they keep picking it up, tag team effort.
In fairness, I have to say a lot of these turnovers are the result of the pressure you guys are generating up front. So obviously I'm a lot of tongue in cheek there, but you were around the quarterback a little bit today and had a couple shots. I know you had at least one hit on Teddy. It looked like another day where you guys felt like you started to really impose your will up front on the pass rush, Dietrich.
We've been doing a great job all year getting after the quarterback. We have been able to get great pressure up the middle with Devon, Lawrence, Christian Baltimore, Daniel. Those guys are doing a great job of creating pressure around the edge to get there and vice versa. And with also the coverage in the background, they've been doing a great job of locking those guys up to allowing us to get there. And it's kind of just been a marriage of rush and coverage. And today is just another example of us getting after the quarterback, having a little fun out there, and making it happen.
Dietrich, you said it. It's been all year. You guys have been the reason to watch. You've been selling the tickets. You're getting the eyeballs on the TV when you guys are on. How do you stay humble? How do you, as part of this defense, stay humble after this season you guys are having in a game like today?
Because our job's not done yet. We don't really talk about what we do. We just go out there and do it. Every time, whatever the situation is in the game, we know, okay, defense got to come up with a play, or defense got to get the ball back to the offense, or defense got to come with a big stop. No matter what it is, they're doing it. We're doing a great job of just staying focused to the task at hand, and that's kind of how we stayed even kneeled.
Along those lines, Dietrich, I know you just got off the field, but this week, Buffalo, winning you're in. What can you say about the team's mindset right now as you go into this game with still the playoffs on your plate if you're able to pull that one out?
We right now the goal is just win, and that's how it always is. The last couple of weeks, we've been saying this is a playoff game, and that's how we've been treating it. We take every week 1 week at a time. Take every game 1 week at a time, and going into Buffalo, we know who we're facing. We know what we're facing, and we just got to go out there and execute, and that's it.
Well, we've been saying the same thing, so let me say congratulations on the playoff win today, Dietrich.
Thank you very much.
Hey, great job out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, take
care.
care.
Have a great day.
All right,
Happy
thanks.
New
You
Year to
too.
y'all.
Thanks,
Happy New
Dietrich.
Year. There he goes. I was being a little funny, but not really.
Yeah.
This is the reason to watch this team this year. It's the
yeah.
defense.
Yeah, Judon.
Well, their ability to score, I mean, that's uncanny. That's 4 weeks in a row, and they find ways to score touchdowns every week.
Yes, I want to thank Microsoft Surface, the official sideline technology provider and laptop of the NFL and the New England Patriots, providing players and coaches with the tools to succeed both on and off the field. Check out the powerful Surface Pro 8, combining the power of a laptop with the flexibility of a tablet at Surface.com. Thank you to Dietrich Wise for joining us here on the Patriots Postgame Show. Boss man Fred Kirsch joining us now. He's glowing. You've got a glow about you.
Well, I'm just happy to win, but I mean, come on.
Who had Fred as the Debbie Downer?
Tough battles on the
nothing
blog
is easy,
today?
is it?
No, I took a little nap during that game. Tiny little cat nap, little micro nap, little micro sleep.
The good news is there's still another game for Josh Allen to get hurt. So,
wow. I don't know that we're going to be rooting for injury on a Patriots sanctioned show of any
the beauty
kind.
of that is you don't have to root for it; it just happens.
We were just starting the good list when Dietrich Wise called in, and Deuce had talked about the great play by Kyle Duggar. I had mentioned just chronologically the opening drive with Thornton and the reception and the touchdown.
I would just
Paul?
add, like that opening drive, I thought there was, I mean, this is another one that's going to sound snarky that I don't mean it to sound snarky. There was a purpose. Like they came out and I thought they had some design. Some of the plays didn't work, but I thought they had some good misdirection. One of them, they tried to loop around a quick screen, and the ball got batted down. It was an incomplete pass, but I kind of liked the play design. They had an idea. Like, they came out with a script, and they executed it. And, it ends up with Thornton making the touchdown catch. But even the play design on the goal line, they bring him down. Hunter Henry is clearly designed to be blocking downfield. It's not a penalty if they don't call it. And you get an open receiver by the pylon. Like I just really liked the entire, just design of that first drive. Unfortunately, that was it.
Yeah, and there was
offensively. Yeah, and even then the game was over. That was the only drive they had when the game was competitive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to sound negative on
that's good play design right there.
Yeah,
like. You get your guy open on the pylon. I know it sounds snarky because we just haven't seen it.
I know
we haven't seen those kinds of plays.
Yeah,
and I was watching that one too, and it was you could see it was just one of those where Thornton comes across in motion, and you could see the moment of hesitation and confusion between the two defensive backs, and it was just a brief glimpse of this is what happens when you kind of scheme things to put people in a pickle and they can't instantly figure it out.
Right.
And,
Henry does a nice job on the play, and the reason why my guess that he didn't get a penalty on this is that he really does sell it that he's running. Yeah. Now clearly his intention is to
plotting.
His intention is to pick the guy, and it's I'm not going to do it. Deuce, it's Ig Bananane or something like that.
Noah I.
Yeah, I
but he does a nice job of not blocking. He just gets in his way.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do.
It just bears mentioning that Miami was called for 2 penalties on that Patriots drive to go up 7-0.
2 third down. Yeah,
there's a reason why they've lost 5 in a row.
Is this your first Patriots game?
Well, no. I mean, it's almost uncanny that on that drive, 2 third downs, both penalties, and then on the
2 failed third downs,
and then on the other one with Jacoby on the other scoring drive, they had that 1 third down to Jacoby. They got that one beat PI. So your only 2 scoring drives, you had 3.
Yeah, the only one about the Jacoby PI.
That was a PI, but I'm just saying.
Even Snarky Paul can't come up with anything snarky about that one.
Yeah.
Dude killed him. Yeah. Crossan just crushed him.
I just want to just slow down a little bit on the praise on that opening.
Score. I thought you were the praiser.
I got to be honest with you. Then I got nothing else.
No. I'm just saying with without those penalties, you don't score. And that's not a parallel universe.
Right.
It's like they're in the third down. It's like
I
you don't score.
got one more.
Go ahead.
I was going to say Jacoby. I mean, I thought for the end, and it's, because the same thing. A few plays, 6 catches, but I thought that was a key third down that he got on that drive before the PI that he drew, and then the touchdown. So I got Jacoby on there too.
Okay. I had run defense in general.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with their backup quarterbacks, they decided they wanted to try to keep the ball out of harm's way. And they ran the ball a lot, and they didn't run it great. I mean, just looking right now at the Dolphins, I mean,
Wilson's 15-45.
Both Wilson and Mostert were well below 4 yards to carry, 3.2. So they wanted to run the ball, and the Patriots wouldn't let them. So I had run defense on my good list today, too.
That's a good one.
What do you got, Fred?
Yeah, I mean, Barmore, I thought he had a really good game, and I think Bentley had a really good game.
Yep,
and I think overall the safeties had a good game because whether it's Bridgewater or whoever, I think, they didn't let up the big plays. And that's all the job was today. Don't let up the big chunk plays.
Now, I am asking this legitimately, not to be a wise ass. Was the coverage downfield that good, or were Bridgewater and especially, what's his name, Johnny McGillicuddy?
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, I don't know that Skylar Thompson can throw the ball downfield. It certainly looked like he was not allowed to throw.
Well, by that,
2 yards past the
but
line
that
of
was
scrimmage.
like in the fourth quarter that he came in, right? Thompson.
Third.
The game ended when Bridgewater broke his finger.
Yeah,
they were winning when that happened.
They weren't taking a lot of shots downfield. Was that coverage or was that by design? And it's like we're just not going to take.
Yeah, they had one early that was close to being a completion. One official said it was in. One said it was out. In retrospect, Fred and I got a good look at the replay. We think McDaniel probably should have challenged that one.
Yeah.
But other than that, they didn't really take a lot of shots downfield.
I'm sorry. When one of your safeties has a all alone, no one within 30 yards of you interception and it bounces off his face, I have problems putting the safeties on the good.
No,
list.
I mean, that was you should have made that play, but
and it wouldn't have mattered where they ended up getting the ball.
They got the incomplete pass on the next play and they punted. The ball would have been in the same spot.
Listen, I go by what I thought going in. I thought that Bridgewater would still be able to make throws to Waddle and Hill and Gesicki, and I think that overall the defense, played pretty well.
Yeah.
Up until that last drive, they had given up 14 points.
Yeah, I agree that I think the defense played well, but I think Bridgewater did do that. I mean, Bridgewater, Waddle has 17.3 a catch and Hill 13.8. Like I just,
how many of those were after the catch though? Yards after the catch?
I don't know, but my point is, you have backup quarterbacks. They're not going to go bombs away. Like they're backups for a reason, and this is why the Patriots are 7-0 against backup quarterbacks.
I'll give you a good example. I forget which quarterback it was, but they needed Miami needed 3rd and 9 or something like that, and they swung it out wide to Hill. And Bryant made a really good open field tackle where, you would think, one-on-one, Hill's going to make a miss.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And he got him down well before the sticks. It was a big play.
I'm not saying it did. I just don't remember it. I don't remember any play like that.
You don't?
That he had a chance to get a first. Like, I remember like a 3rd and 17.
If he had made a miss, he would have had the first.
If you make guys miss, but you're throwing it like on after all those penalties, they had so many 3rd and 17s. They're throwing it short, hoping that they break tackles, and that's not going to happen in the NFL.
Usually Hill does make people miss, but he didn't. Yeah.
Just one other guy. I don't even know if I want to put him on the list. I just wanted to mention, though, I thought the Carl Davis sack was kind of a big moment, too. They had been kind of driving a couple times.
The one with Wise?
They hadn't had, I think they eventually just gave it all to Carl Davis.
Yeah, it was definitely a Carl Davis sack.
I thought that at that point, they weren't getting any pressure. They weren't getting to Bridgewater. They weren't able to finish them. Then they got a sack.
That was one thing today. They didn't get a lot of pressure.
It was a stop, too, before the half, and that backed them up to 3rd and 22, forced a punt. It just felt like a little bit of a moment there where had they scored.
That was the play I was thinking of, the 3rd and 22. And they throw a crosser to Waddle for about 17, 18 yards. And, you're not going to get first downs on those. Like, if you can't throw it to the sticks, you're not going to get first downs on 3rd and 22 throws underneath.
I missed the sack number by a half, didn't I? I think
they went over. They got 2.
Damn it.
Yeah, but you did well otherwise.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks.
You got the halftime.
The halftime, bro.
That was unbelievable.
I did. I don't know if you heard about this, Fred. It was
You've
they
been
were
away a
all
long
talking
time.
about it in the press box.
You've been away a long time.
Actually, no, I didn't hear about this. What happened?
I'm sorry. I thought for sure you would have heard about it. The first half spread, 1.5 either way. Do you go over under? Dumb and Dumber here both said, "Oh, it's going to be
ridiculous." I had a tough day.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I was particularly dumb today.
I said it's either going to be a tie game or a 1-point game. Fred, sometimes I just have a sense for the game of football.
Kind of like you. He has a feel for the game.
Paul starts to fade in these moments because the Patriots are one game away from extending this season.
Yeah.
And Paul can't take that pressure.
He's right.
He can't take that pressure.
It's a lot of pressure on all of us, and especially on
Some
Paul.
dude from Green Bay just took a kickback.
Oh, how about that?
Some dude.
All right, so I had Nick Folk on the good list for a hot minute until he missed that extra point. So
I did too.
Don't you think Barmore played well?
I don't
know. I
remember.
didn't really notice him too much.
And Bentley?
I saw him a couple plays.
Bentley
I
we
saw
mentioned.
Bentley.
I mean, I just said run defense. I mean, I think that entails those guys. I didn't really notice Bentley. I did notice Barmore on a play where he came with some nasty intentions.
Yeah.
Threw a guy down about 12 minutes after the whistle.
I would have liked the pass rush to close things out before they got that last touchdown.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
it just
that,
felt like
I just think that they played soft and didn't want to give up a chunk play
I
on that
agree.
last drive.
I agree.
All right, let's talk about some bads here on our good, bad, and injured list here.
In fairness, I don't have a lot here either.
I got a few, and they're more like play specific. Just starting with the first one I had was Schooler running into the kicker there that
That was
extended
a huge,
the drive.
huge play, and that's the first thing I had on my list. Too.
Yeah,
gotta have
that
a
was
little-
a big.
Terrible
Yeah.
play.
Little awareness. They go for it on 4th and 1.
Then they have the false start.
You get the false start, so they're backed up and they're punting. And I don't
give
care if
them
you get
5
pushed
right
or not.
back.
You can't get anywhere near him. You give it right back, and they're going to go for it again. So that
Yep.
extended the drive. It made the game 7-7. That was a bad play.
I agree.
That was a bad play.
What else, Deuce?
And this is almost for one play, but I had Kendrick Bourne on there. I just felt like the false start he had on 3rd and 6 with the game in the balance, it just embodied to me everything that goes wrong with this offense. And I just, like, everyone pounds what do you call him, Fred? The born against?
Born against. The born against.
Everyone wants them. And, like, is everyone just going to ignore the fact that this is, like, a huge 3rd and 6 and you're, like, the game is hanging in the balance and that,
and
he jumps, like.
Fred, why isn't he playing?
I would no particular reason. And Deuce, I was gonna say the same thing with Bourne. It's not just that the ones we see; it's the little things that don't get mentioned, like Mac having to spend 2-3 seconds on plays telling him where to line up.
Yeah,
we're in week 17.
Happened a couple of times.
We're in week 17, and he's still telling him where to line up. Those are part of the reasons why. Not that he's a bad player, but that other players are playing ahead of him. Like what's Aguilar done? But apparently in practice he doesn't do what Bourne does, and so he gets the nod.
Yeah, I still think you should be playing. Like those two things don't necessarily have to be.
I do too, but
exclusive.
They just don't want to line up every receiver they have on every play, and that's.
But I would rather have him lining up than Aguilar.
Yeah, I mean Aguilar had 1 target, no catches.
Yeah, I know. He's a non-factor too.
What do you have on your bad list, Paul?
The punter continues to be, I think, a thorn in the team's side. In the second half of a 7-7 game, he comes out on the first punt is 34 yards to the 40, to the Patriots, to the Dolphins 40, gives them a short field. Patriots defense comes up big, comes up with a stop. Next drive, he comes up with a 38-yard punt that is returned to the Patriots 41. Patriots defense could not come up with a stop on that one. Dolphins go down and take a 14-7 lead. In a game like that, you can't afford like these 35-yard punts, in the middle of the field. Look where it seemed like Cedric Wilson was catching the ball on a run going forward around midfield all day.
I agree, but my bigger problem.
And 2 touchbacks too, I think.
My bigger problem is that you come out after halftime after having 12 minutes to talk about it, and you go 3 and out on your first 2 drives, and
Right.
By the second one, if Hardy is sitting there watching and can lean over to the guy next to him and say, literally, screen, run, incomplete. Watch. And I live to say I told you so. And watch. Screen, run, incomplete.
Yeah.
Punt.
I
Like,
agree with you.
That's
some
a bigger
uninspired
problem.
nature, but they couldn't move the ball all day.
Yeah.
And this is 17 straight weeks where they can't move the ball.
Yeah.
Before the half, after the half, whatever.
You know what's a good thing to point out too, Paul, is that they were 2 for 2 in the red zone, so they were perfect in the red zone. You know, it's like all this like we need to be better in the red zone. It's like that. It's fine, like you do, but at the same time, like it just doesn't really tell you the story that they're not really moving the ball. They got there twice.
I've been saying it all year.
I know,
People are talking about their inability to score in the red zone. Their problem is they don't get to the red zone.
Yeah.
Like most teams go down and they go like 2 for 4, or the Patriots. It's like 0 for 1.
Yeah.
Like, they can't score in the red zone.
Yeah, the 2 for 2 today, and
like,
I want to give Fred an opportunity to vent a little bit. You have anything on your bad list?
Well, Bourne was there. Other than that, it's just more of the same. When it comes to the offense, they're easy to defend. If I won't be surprised if Miami's saying, yeah, we knew what was coming, because they did.
Yeah.
They did. They were right there on all these short passes. The tackle was immediate if the pass was complete. They smelled out everything.
And they were missing everybody in their secondary, and you can't do it. They lost their last remaining starter was Javon Holland. He left the game today.
Yeah. They just knew what was coming. When you did get a little creative, like you mentioned, like, I don't know, like if it's to Stevenson or any type of swing pass, it's smelled out. Paul mentioned the play with Hunter Henry, causing the screen to Thornton. All right, that's a play that I don't know if they've run that yet this year, but it worked. And you're going to have to go to guys like Thornton more often, because everything else, everything else is sniffed out.
He needs to earn it. Like they went to him plenty today, and I think that.
I'm just saying that you can't do the same thing over and over again.
Did you ever see a really athletic guy have an inability to get his feet in bounds as much as him?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know
what
what
you're
you're saying.
He's not a fluid receiver.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's long and lanky.
And 7 targets, 3 catches.
He's just not very. He doesn't have a lot of strength in his position on the field. I think he gets jostled and moved very easily.
Yeah, he's not that graceful.
Definitely somebody to watch.
So I thought they took a lot of shots today, but again, I don't want to nitpick because I'm glad they're taking shots. It's better than the screen after screen after screen. But then the Jets are in trouble, by the way, in Seattle. They take these shots, but it just looked to me like they knew that pressure was coming, and they're just hucking them.
Right.
Now, they got away with it on the Myers PI that set up the last touchdown, the one that sealed the game. But they had like 3 or 4 times that I thought, like, Aguilar had a step and the ball was like 5 yards overthrown, not because Mac Jones made a bad throw, but he's just getting it and throwing it.
Yeah,
like throwing it to a spot.
There's
like,
really no intention.
He's not throwing it to a player.
Right.
He's throwing it to a spot.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, like, I like that they're taking shots. I wish that they had a little bit more sort of chance to them.
They got
a lot of those today.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a third down offense on there. They were 5 of 13 for 38 yards. We pointed out all the the 2 scoring drives that they did have were beneficiary of 3 different penalties that helped them. It was shocking when they convert third downs now. I mean, the one to Myers near the end was you're expecting anything longer than 3rd and 4 to pretty much be a given that they're probably going to punt. But Hardy, you mentioned coming out. I mean, 3rd and 7 certainly points in the second half. Certainly points to not having success on early downs, and that's a big factor too. But I just feel like this team, they don't have anything really creative, and when they get in 3rd and long, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, and I think Andrews is beat up.
I think
he is beat up.
But forget 3rd and long. The most
that was on my list.
The most horrific play of the game, in my opinion, was the 3rd and 1. Mm-hmm. After Stevenson got loose on an 18-yard run, which is only designed to go for 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and he's supposed to get stuffed right there. That's that's their bread and butter this year. Handed off for a 2-yard gain. Instead, he squirts loose for 18, so it's 3rd and 1. What do? Why don't we? Because you're in field goal range. Don't forget about that. What do? Let's drop back. Let's drop back and see what happens. Well, you're going to get sacked.
Drop
and you're
back. It's a play under center. He turns around, play action, turns his back, and there's a blitz right in his face. And he's got to get rid of the ball. You can't take the sack. Now you're out of field goal range.
Why are you throwing? Why not run it again?
I know.
Run it twice. Run it twice.
That's. I mean, again.
Yeah.
If we can sit here and come up with that, how is it that the Patriots are unable to see things that simply.
It's almost like they're so afraid if we can come up with it, Miami can come up with it, so we have to outsmart them.
I don't get it. I don't get it. That was the
Look
most
at how
maddening
close
play
this
of the
comes
game.
to being a turnover, too. He swings the arm around and hits it right into 92's chest, and the ball ended up staying with Mac Jones. Like, this could have been a disastrous play.
Yeah.
Not just a play that cost you points.
Yeah, horrific.
So I had that. I thought, I talked about the punter specifically. I thought special teams, again, a couple of Mostert returns out across the 35, on kickoff returns. Pierre Strong takes one out of the end zone and gets stopped at the 18. That's after 2 3-and-outs in the second half. Like, you don't need to give your offense that much more room to go. The special teams are not given it much of a lift at all.
I just have one more that I don't think anyone mentioned Trent Brown specifically. I think he could have been called for 3 false starts in the first half.
That's what he does. That's him. Yeah.
It's unbelievable that they weren't blowing the whistle or throwing the flag on him. I mean, the left foot drops back.
Was it unbelievable?
I forgot. It is the Patriots. It is Gillette Stadium. I'm sorry, Paul.
No, people were pointing it out in all seriousness on Freddie's blog.
They were all saying
Fred was saying that to me during the game, that a lot of people were saying Trent Brown's getting away with a lot of false starts.
He's been doing it all year. Fred, question for you. We were kind of getting the vibe this might be the last game for McCourty. We saw J-Mac here. We saw some little McCourty 32s running the sidelines.
Yeah.
Tamara's saying now that there's some audio from him in the locker room talking about that. Any boss man insight?
I haven't heard anything official, but I saw what you guys saw.
Yeah. Seems like perhaps Slater maybe and McCourty this might be it for them. I just can't believe he dropped that one.
It didn't even hit him in the face mask. It hit him in the neck. I don't know.
In some ways, it's kind of funny. I mean, I'm glad Jason was here to see it, his brother.
I'm
sure that won't be an issue.
No, he won't hear about it at all from his twin brother, I'm sure. All right.
So I did have one thing, and I wanted to look up to see what the ramification were on it, but there was a – okay, here no, that's not it.
All right.
So I can't find it. There was a play in the second half that it was third – it was like third and long, 3rd and 10, and Uche had a false start, like neutral zone infraction. That made it a short yardage thing, and they were able to pick it up pretty easy. And, 3rd and 10 to 3rd and 5, that's a big difference.
Yep.
That's a big difference. Now, I don't think it ended up costing them anything. I have to see it.
That was weird. It's almost like he lost his balance and fell down into the neutral zone. And I thought it was a false start on the left tackle when it first happened, but it was absolutely neutral zone. And you're right, Paul. You can't turn a 3rd and 10 into a 3rd and 5. It's a big deal.
No.
All right. Get to the injured.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got
Okay, here it is.
Oh.
It was in the third quarter, 3rd and 10. It was after the Duggar, so you got all momentum. It was after the Duggar pick 6, so it's 16-14. 3rd and 10, Uche jumps off. The next play, Thompson hits Mostert for 17 yards, and they get a roughing the passer penalty on Bentley. So now all of a sudden, the next play, Miami's running the play from the 38-yard line.
Yeah.
So they're right on the fringe of field goal range now to take the lead. And they ended up not taking the lead because Skylar Thompson was playing quarterback. But that could have been a big play. Like, Skylar Thompson's most likely not going to convert a 3rd and 10. But a 3rd and 5, he was able to throw a short throw and have Mostert break some tackles. I thought the tackling was shoddy today. I thought there was some gaps. But, when you're playing with what you were playing against, I guess that was the game plan, is to sort of keep it, like Freddie said, no big plays, keep it in front, make them work their way down the field. They're not going to do that.
Yeah,
and they didn't. They didn't really come close.
And the roughing the passer was the right call. And you
I didn't
have
really
to
get a good look at
you
that,
have to
to be
avoid
honest
it.
He was up high. And,
He was up high, but I still don't like it, Fred, because it's the crown of the helmet running into the face mask. I mean, you can't do it.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
understand
I just saw it now. We had the replay right there.
But again, this is football.
and then
sometimes those things
Barmore
happen.
has a lot of these. Can you roll that again, guys, when you get a chance? Let's re-rack that if you get a chance. Barmore has a lot of these kinds of plays. Watch him. You'll have to see the replay here. But so you end up out by midfield on the play by itself. Then you add 15 more.
Right.
So when Bentley comes in with this hit, watch Barmore come in. Keep going.
Yeah.
Right. right?
Well, he trips over.
Bang!
Oh, yeah.
With all his weight, boom.
Yeah, but he tripped over the guy.
Fred,
He tripped over him.
you think he had to land on him like this?
He trips over Bentley. He didn't even know where he was. Watch. Bentley's down. He trips over him.
Oh, right in the. Oh,
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, Mike.
He looked down.
It's a
Where should I
vanilla,
put my
it's a
hand?
vanilla nut tap. Don't tell me you had to do that.
Wow, listen. You have to brace
Bang.
your fall. You have to brace your fall.
Yeah.
If he hadn't braced his fall, then they would have called him for putting all his weight on.
I think it's kind of hot. I don't mind it.
Cushioned his blow.
Injuries.
aren't
So we had
pillows.
Aguilar left and came back, but didn't really do much.
I think Myers.
Eight was down for a while. Eight looked bad. Was down. It seemed like they were doing
was he back
taking
in
a knee around him. And he went back in.
He came
was
back,
back
but
in?
Myers hurt the shoulder. And
Myers,
didn't
on the
he- that was
touchdown,
his
and then he
injury
was ruled
before,
out.
too, right?
Bentley
And,
went down. They had the whole prayer thing
Yeah,
going on.
I
It
know.
was
I
a
thought he
big
was
deal,
done,
and
and he's okay.
he walked off.
And then there's just
Must have worked.
Jonathan Jones.
Yeah, Jay Jones at the end, which he was on the injury report with a chest issue. It seemed like he kind of ran right into the guy chest first there at the end. Went right down, definitely in pain. You
Let's
can see
go
him
ahead
right there
and
kicking.
let's do some irresponsible speculation on Jacoby Myers' collarbone.
I don't know. I mean, they said shoulder. He's had a shoulder issue. I mean, maybe it's
That's
like one of
what I
those things
think.
where you dislocated it and it's kind of loose
I
and
think
all
he
over the place
re-injured
for a
the
little
old
bit.
injury.
Okay.
Separation, maybe. I mean, I don't want to speculate. I hope he's able to go next week. He's obviously really important, but I mean, he just comes down hard.
Jair Alexander doing the gritty on an incomplete pass to Justin Jefferson.
Oh,
I like him. He could play.
I
on my
like him
team.
too. Yeah.
He
Did
could
you see
play
his
on my
post-game
team.
press conference
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago? Yeah, he's funny.
He's competitive.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's perfect. He's competitive, though. I like that.
Look, Myers comes down hard. He comes down out of the air like football players do a lot. So
just banger.
I think you're right. Re-aggravating an existing injury. It's probably the most logical explanation.
Not good. I mean,
No.
given
No.
the importance I think that he has to the offense.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's get to the phone calls here. 855-PATS-500, web radio at patriots.com. We begin in Australia by talking to Jake here on the Patriots Postgame Show. Hello, Jake.
Morning, how are you guys going?
Excellent.
Hey, Jake.
So, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Is it 20? Yeah, I think it's
is it
2024 there.
2024 in Australia.
Yeah, 2024, yeah.
Juice made me laugh.
But yeah, to start off the new year, the Patriots win in the most Patriot style by having it given to them.
There it is. I mean, that is a 2022 Patriots win if I ever saw one.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
it's given to you, and then you
249 yards of offense,
You
a
tr-
pick six.
you try not to take it, but you end up getting the win anyway.
All right, Dolphins will take
All
it.
right.
This is and on Miles Bryant, tackle 2, best play he's had this season.
I wish I saw this play. Evidently, I missed a huge play.
Yeah, I don't know.
He got Hill real good.
Okay.
Let's see. I know the video guys got to find it.
Yeah,
Got a
we're
pick
gonna
six
we're
now
gonna-
for the Packers.
Yeah, we're going to look for it, Jake. Thanks for the call. Thank you for checking in. In Germany, Stefan says the Patriots offense still anemic. Field goals somehow aren't near automatic anymore. I was thinking about that.
They don't get them.
And on the last drive, they don't have that many attempts. And on the last drive, Mac Jones spotted Miami more yards than a missed field goal would have without taking significant time off the clock.
That's another one that belonged on the bad list. We aired missing that. The fourth down. They're up 9.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Right.
That was a bad
rhetorical question.
That
Yeah,
was a
I guess-
bad. That was a
okay.
bad decision. Bad coaching decision by Bill.
Why do you think he did that? What do you think the reasoning was? That it was too long for field goal? I would have have
don't
Mac
think it
do
was-
one of those pooch punts.
Yeah,
I don't think it was too long for a field goal.
No?
Just punt it. They haven't been able to really do much. I mean, Skylar Thompson back there. It's better than giving
Where
it
were
to
they?
the midfield.
Where was the line of scrimmage?
I'm looking it up.
Sean McAvoy, by the way, in Ontario, brings up a positive. For the first time this season, Patriots let up 20 points and win the game.
Yeah, they're at the 29-yard line.
We did it.
We did it.
They're at the 29-yard line. That's
Yeah.
field goal range.
With a
it is.
defensive
Sorry.
score.
Yeah.
Also Sean wants to know, do we have any chance in Buffalo next weekend?
Well, we should talk about that
Yeah.
because Buffalo has the game tomorrow night with the Bengals. If they win, what's the deal? If
They
they
need
lose,
to
what's
win.
the deal?
Meaningless.
Meaningless either way.
Yep.
So they have nothing to play for next week.
No, they do. They have to play to get the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to win.
So what if they lose this game?
They have to play hard to try to get the number 1 seed.
Okay. If they lose to the Bengals, what's the scenario for them?
They need to win to get the number 1 seed.
What if they beat the Bengals?
They need to win to secure the number 1
So
seed.
either way, it's the same for them?
Correct. I'm not trying. Again, I'm not trying to be snarky. They needed the Chiefs to the Patriots needed the Chiefs to lose, so Buffalo had the chance tomorrow night to lock up the number 1 seed.
What if they tie?
That didn't happen.
What if they tie?
What if they tie?
Hold, please.
They need to win to secure the number 1 seed.
Okay,
So they'll have something to play for, in other words.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
So that, of course, decreases our chances.
Ben in Maryland up
But
on
the
the
torn
Patriots.
ACL that Josh Allen will suffer tomorrow night, however,
Stop
will
it.
increase the
Stop
chances.
it. Ben in Maryland, what's going on?
Hey guys, what's up?
I can't even watch that game tomorrow night.
Big game. I think the defense deserves to be in the playoffs. I don't know about the offense, but definitely the defense. I don't know if you heard, but my Jacoby Myers just heard Mike Reese that he's going to be good to go.
Oh,
next week.
Okay.
That's good.
Oh, good.
And I have a quick question. It seems like, this season, these NFL defenses are, giving up at the end of the game. And these, 2-minute drills before halftime at the end of the game. Patriots almost did it again today. I just want to know, why is that, Thanks.
Because in hurry-up situations, it's hard to stop the other team.
Yeah.
It's hard. When they're just throwing at every play and they're, using, it's hard to play like that all the time because you play with an air of desperation.
Yes.
But that's a hard situation to just kind of stop.
And it hasn't been just this year. It's
always
NFL.
Yeah.
That's
where you make your team. I mean, that's where pass rushers step up and win one-on-ones and close games out and make.
I
names
give
for
Miami
themselves.
credit for that last touchdown drive because I didn't think they would be able to do that. He made one throw down the seam to Tyreek Hill, I think on 4th down.
Yeah,
that I didn't think he could make.
I mean, you talk about just bringing Von Miller in. I mean, specifically for those kind of
That's
situations.
the one thing I could say.
Where, you need
Raiders game today. What happened to the pressure when you're in those kinds of situations? That should be pinning your ears back and ending the game with a sack.
I honestly think, too, this is in sports. I've thought this for a long, long time. Offense toward the end of games, the defense runs out of gas. It's more fun to play offense. You're playing with a sense of urgency. You know that you have to go out there and do that. This is human nature takes over. And look, these guys are professionals, and they've been playing defense their whole professional career. It doesn't matter. I don't care if it's NBA, NHL, if it's NFL. The offense always seems to have a little bit more left in the tank toward the end of these games for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So, Steve in Miami, up next on the Patriots Postgame Show. What's up?
First of all, happy and healthy New Year to you.
Thank you.
Too.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. I just got back to the United States today. What a way to come back.
Oh, where were you?
It just seems like, well, I went to visit my brother. He lives in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I made sure I didn't drink any of the water.
I've been there.
But a few things. One is, with Marcus Jones out, is there someone better than Bryant to field punts?
I'd like to see Duggar do it, but Bryant's the other guy. So I've given up on that.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the stat? I guess he had a concussion, so there's a possibility he comes back against Buffalo?
There's a possibility for
he's in concussion
Yep.
protocol right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question I have. Bill Belichick. For the last 3-4 years, Myers has been the best receiver the Patriots have had. He's a free agent. What is your belief? Will he be back next year?
It's a great question.
Good question, Steve.
It's one we've been
Thank you
talking
for the phone call.
a lot about.
My guess is no.
What kind of money do you think Myers is looking for?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, I think that he might be one of those guys that has more worth here because other teams trying to plug him in might be like, what are we getting exactly?
What I would recommend to him, though, is whatever offer you get from the Patriots, do not go to another team after that. and if you get slightly more, come back to the Patriots and say, "Hey, I got this," or would you match it? They tend not to do that.
I would just say this about Jacoby, he's been productive with every quarterback he's played. He makes big catches in big moments. I don't think that he is, one of these elite top receivers, but I think he's the kind of guy that you need on your team to win with. And I wonder how much of it of making Mac Jones happy is part of the team's motivation.
So how much
to
would
keep
you
him
pay
around.
him? Would you pay him number 2 receiver money, whatever that is?
See, I don't think I would. Well, I mean, the reason is because I don't know if he pushes the pace of the offense, and I feel like, is it really? I mean, I love him, and I think he's reliable, but at the same time, like, he kind of is an example of what this offense is right now, which is, they're smart, they get open, but they don't really ever push the pace with speed or downfield, or, he comes in, he makes a tough 6-yard catch, and you need guys like that. So that's where it's hard is, how do you break up paying him versus, would it make more sense to maybe, as Paul said in the pregame, collect those resources in free agency and say, instead of getting, bringing back Jacoby, who's a reliable player, we're going to kind of swing for the moon here and try to get one of these other guys.
You got to do both.
That's what I want to do. I would do that.
Yeah.
2 receiver might. Now, if he's looking to blow it out of the water and get like a Christian Kirk's contract, no, I'd let him go. But I'd give him like Aguilar money. I think he's better than that.
How much of this hinges
Bourne
on?
Money, I think he's better than him.
Than all those guys. Yeah.
But how much of this hinges on their belief in Mac Jones being the guy going forward? If they're not even convinced that he's
then
the
why do you care,
it's like, what are we going to do? We're going to
it wouldn't have a lot. Yeah, it wouldn't have a ton to do with that for that reason. I'm not catering my personnel decisions to a guy I don't know if is going to be here in a couple of years.
Okay.
I agree with you on that.
All right.
Hardy, I'm with you.
Chris in Honolulu says, theoretically speaking, if the Pats were to win next week and then somehow win a playoff game, wow, that's 2 big jumps. With the offense looking good, do you think Bill would run it back with the current coaching staff?
No.
If they win next week and win a playoff game.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what Bill wants to do. Like, I don't have the answer to that question now. For all I know, Bill wants to run it back now. But I don't think anything that could happen from here on it should change the opinion, whatever it is. Like,
No.
so if in other words, you have one good offensive game in the season, and that's a C. Like, I mean, at this point, you got 249 yards today. 249 yards against a team that absolutely had no starters left
and had
in the
lost
secondary.
4 in a row.
But I mean, they still have like some offensive, but they had no defensive play. Like, their best pass rushers out. They're all 5 starters in the secondary were out. And the best you could do is 249 yards. And as you guys said, thank God for the third down penalties.
You were 7 minutes left in the third quarter before you cracked 100 yards passing. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
No. And that's why I know everyone's afraid of like what happens if they have some success at the end. I think in some ways, though, it just shows you that, like, how do you get to the next level? Like, how do you can put together a pretty well constructed defense and and get to 500-ish, knock off teams that have been kind of beleaguered with injuries and things. But you got to get to the next level of competing with the good teams. Right. I mean, that's what you want.
Even
not
then,
just
you got to hope the other team's
quarterbacks
are out.
Let's go.
What happens if the Patriots lose? What needs to happen for them to still get in?
The Jets would have to lose, and I would guess
the Titans have to lose.
And the Jets are playing Miami.
The Steelers have to lose. No, the Jets need to lose this game.
Oh, this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the Jets win today, then you can't make it at 8-9.
Gotcha. Aaron in Michigan, what do you got for us, Aaron?
Hey, Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. Before I get into the point of my call, I just wanted to say that how do you guys guess the records at the beginning of the year like you guys did? You said 8-9, and if we don't beat Buffalo, we're 8-9, so it's probably looking like we're 8-9.
Yeah,
it's about where. I mean, the over/under was 8.5.
I know.
This is it.
Anybody have anything crazy like 6-11 or 10-7? I would guess we were all in this room right around 8-9, 9-8.
Yeah, I said 8 and 9.
Yeah, I said 7 or 8.
Yeah,
8.5 was the over/under, so we're right in the ballpark.
I don't know, Aaron.
That was the Vegas over/under.
Based on the way the guys that they brought back and what they were doing on the coaching staff, I looked at it as other teams getting a little bit better in the division.
Well, that's the thing,
and it's like, okay, you're probably a win less than what you were last year.
In all fairness, I thought they'd be 8-9, but because of the competition. I didn't think the Patriots' offense would look this bad.
Yeah.
But I just thought the competition would be that much better, and they'd lose 9 games just because other teams are better.
Yeah.
If I had known that the offense was going to look like this, I probably would have lowered my guess.
Yep.
So the fact that they have a chance to win 8 or 9 games is amazing, because of the defense.
I know, and I just hate the undeniable fact of who they've played over these last 2 years, the teams that they've won, and how it is, lined up of major injuries to quarterbacks. And I mean, the record with backup quarterbacks, it's
7-0.
In some ways it sounds, it's like,
amazing.
oh, you're not giving them credit, but it's true. Like, this is who they've played.
Today, I think that they had to up it. They had to get the backup out because
Right.
I think you were in danger of losing until that happened.
Oh yeah. And sometimes your predictions come true for different reasons, like you mentioned, Fred. And I was saying, going back to the spring, everybody's saying like, well, Mac will be back and Mac will be better in his second year. And I remember saying over and over again, who's to guarantee that Mac is better in the second year?
I do remember you saying that.
Sometimes guys take a step back.
Mm-hmm.
What I was wrong about was, I don't even know how much of it is Mac's fault. It's not like his play just fell off. I think the offense is so ill-suited to him or a lot of guys in his position to where I don't know how much I can blame Mac. He certainly deserves some of the blame, but not all of it. It's not like he just had a precipitous drop-off in a vacuum. It's this whole offense that has not allowed him to play very well this year.
Yeah, you got to start there.
We
think.
talk
I
about
got
it-
issues with him, but
Yeah, we talked about it a lot, the last few weeks. That's the hard part, and that's the worst part of the offensive shortcomings is it's on Mac, it's on the coaching, it's on the lack of explosiveness, it's on a lack of a running game, it's on pass protection. There's a lot of things at fault, and that makes it hard to fix. If you could just say, we got to get better play out of the quarterback. Yeah, it's hard to find a really good quarterback, but at least you understand, you know what? The plays are there to be made. I don't think that they leave a lot of plays on the field.
No. Now you're in the business of identifying multiple problems and then deciding which one do you want to focus in on first. It's like paying down credit card debt. What's the one with the most interest?
Yeah.
What do we have to go after first?
Don't hit there. That hits too close to
Well, the hard thing now, though, is like
Do you have some
projecting.
issues as a youngster?
As a
youngster.
How about Spee in Fresno? Hi, Spee. Thanks for checking in. What's going on? Hey, Merry New Year.
One of the best movies this time of year for sure, Trading Places. But, man, what you guys just said is perfect. I mean, this is like what's so great about this show is like you guys are funny and it's cool, but what you guys just said about there being multiple problems in a heart, like the whack-a-mole metaphor Mike's used all year. But at the same time, and I'm completely undecided with respect to Mac. Not completely. The needle's trending negatively, but one of those 3 and outs, it was in like toward the beginning of the third quarter where it starts with that low and slow incomplete pass to Henry flat, and then
ending with a
second down. Second down is funny because pre-snap, Mac is just like yelling, I think, at Aguilar for like 5 to 10 seconds, like he's making some adjustments, and everybody on the field knew that was just balderdash, and he's just gonna hand it off, and Stevenson runs for no gain, and then in the third down, Mac steps up in the pocket and just checks down, passing way too hard and way in front of Stevenson. It's just like that was Mac in a microcosm, at least the bad side of what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that was every game you walk away just thinking you have a bad memory, a bad taste in your mouth, and that was mine.
I agree with you, Speeds. That when you're talking about who's to blame for the offense and how much of it is really Mac, the poor execution on some of those checkdowns. Like, oh my God, I can't blame the offense on those. I don't think.
I can't blame Patricia for that stuff.
Right.
He was off today.
On the other hand, it's tough to know. Maybe Mac was rattled because of all the crap that's going on around him. So they just can't get in the flow of the game. That's why I need to watch him for like 3 or 4 games next season, maybe with Perillo, to make my mind up about the guy. Who knows?
All right, Speed. Thanks for checking in. Happy New Year. All that good stuff. Let's step aside here for a moment. More of your calls coming up at 855-PATS-500. More of your emails, webradio@patriots.com. And more of your favorite Patriots highlights on NFL All Day, where the digital video collectibles are called
Moments.
Not only can you buy and sell them on a secure marketplace full of thousands of NFL fans, you can use them to compete in epic game day challenges. Check it out. Find some moments from all your favorite Patriots players on NFLAllDay.com.
TouchView Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in VC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes Cyber Reason. End cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
$1 million? For picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half of one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
TouchView Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in VC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes Cyber Reason. End cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
$1 million? For picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half of one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
It was so bad in the first half, after the third drive, I called for Zappy.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Patriots get the win today over the visiting Miami Dolphins, and their playoff hopes are still alive. You're welcome to join us here at 855-PATS-500, webradio@patriots.com, 23-21. The win at Gillette Stadium today, the Patriots back at 500 on the season. Dolphins, it's not even fair to say this team is streaky. It's just chunks of win or chunks of losses, and right now they are in the middle of a 5-chunk game of losses right now. Really, really unfortunate way for the Dolphins. Fortunate for the Patriots for them to be finishing off this season. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with their quarterback and the health going on there. But I'm sorry, 5 losses in a row. Yeah, you could have won that Green Bay game.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Yeah,
for this team, and we talked about it on the radio a little bit this
could have
week.
won the Chargers game.
Yeah, what do you do with Tua? Like on one hand, he had some MVP quality play for a large stretch of this year, and now he's got concussions issues that might affect his career. And what
does Tua do with Tua?
Yeah, like what
does he want?
It was the past. He'd probably just be right back out there. But this is everyone knows how serious it is right now.
Edward.
But also, I think in the same
Raiders.
thing, they need work on defense too for this Miami team.
Chad in Atlanta wants to know via electronic mail here, safety going to be a high priority in the draft? Talking about McCourty leaving, and
we were talking a little
even
bit
if he
about
doesn't
that.
leave, you got to do something probably.
Name a
Safety.
position that if you get a good guy, you shouldn't take him. I mean, there's every position is a need.
I just think you got to start with the impact,
Kicker,
important
running
positions that they have kind of ignored. I think they need to hit on a receiver. I think they need to hit on a second level linebacker, and I think they need to hit on a cornerback, a legit cornerback that can be built around. But I think that the question about free safety is a good one, because I was talking to Evan upstairs during the game, which was they don't really have a guy like that on the roster other than Devin McCourty. Are you going to bring a rookie in and let him run the back end of the defense, getting everybody on the same page? It's just an interesting kind of thing to play with.
So you have those 4 guys. You could lose McCourty and Peppers and have Duggar back that be the last year of his deal, right?
Yeah,
and Phillips,
who's been a little bit in and out of the lineup. I don't really know because he was sick this week, but it does seem like Peppers has been kind of spiking.
Like Bledsoe more often than not has been a healthy scratch. Today he was active, but I didn't really see him getting many snaps, if any.
Yep.
Let's talk to Beth in California. Hi, Beth. You're on the Patriots Postgame Show. What's going on?
Beth, I hear you
hey,
calling.
Happy New Year. Thanks for the psychological relief you guys provide after every game. I wanted to know what, by the way, I'm a season ticket holder living in Manhattan Beach. But anyway, nice. I wanted to know to what do you attribute the brain drain on the part of the Patriots coaching, specifically Belichick? And why wouldn't he kick the field goal? It's a classic mistake this year. Doesn't kick the field goal, with 2 minutes left to go up by 12.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
We've had 20 years saying every other team beats themselves, and we never do that. And repeatedly this year, we beat ourselves.
Yeah, I thought that was an odd decision, and I thought it was an odd decision earlier in the game on 3rd and less than a yard to turn your back to the pass rush and drop back with a play-action pass that ended up knocking you out of – I mean, those are taking points off the board.
And you're saying they were at the 29 when that happened.
On the one that Beth is talking about, yeah, they were at the 29-yard line.
Beth, I think that the easy and maybe the lazy answer, but it might be the correct one, is that he has somebody coaching his offense right now who is a good friend of his, whom he believes in, and he doesn't have to pay, and he's not the best person for the job.
But the decision to go for it on 4th down in that situation,
Bill.
that's Bill.
That's Bill. Yeah.
That's Bill.
Yeah. I don't know, Beth.
I mean, and by the way, Matt Patricia, isn't he a rocket scientist? I mean, I think one of the reasons he keeps Patricia, not only that they're friendly, but he's got this nepotism thing going on with his kids. And, not everybody's going to buy into that. And so he has to keep a small group of people, I think, in the coaching circle, because you have to buy into letting the guy spend years with his kids. But let's face it, he wasn't with his kids when they were younger. Mm-hmm. He was pursuing a very intense career path. So now he's making up for lost time. Maybe his kids are going to be great coaches, but he could have sent them out. He has a pretty big network in the NFL. They could have gotten their stripes at another organization. So, I mean, I see him keeping Patricia solely because he knows he's not going to say boo about the kids being part of the coaching staff.
I mean, it's a valid question. I mean, this gets into the whole, like, what's going through Bill's mind as he's, in his 70s now. And like you said, he didn't spend a lot of time with his kids when they were younger. There's no doubt about it. Is this making up for lost time? I mean, as they grew older, they did spend a lot of time around the team. So,
And you get a few months off every year where you can spend a lot of time at home. I'm sorry. It's not like he was deployed.
No, I know. But it's kind of true. And Bill got divorced, the whole thing. So there's something to what Beth is talking about. But, like, right now, Steven and Brian are the least of our problems.
I know.
They really are. They're the least of the problems. They're probably actually doing a pretty good job. I
mean, outside linebackers are doing all right. I mean, Matthew Judon,
right?
Uche, they're playing okay.
I mean, what does it actually mean to be a rocket scientist? Is it? I mean, you're like an expert in propulsion, aerodynamics,
astrophysics, perhaps,
gravity, all that stuff.
Probably. I don't know. It sounds complicated.
Fuel.
Yeah. Physics.
Physics. It's a good one.
Yeah.
It involves a lot of stuff. Very, very smart.
Chemistry.
Sure. Why not? David in New York. What do you got for us, David?
Hey, guys. Happy New Year.
Thanks. Same to you.
So I got a couple things. First, and just in case I don't call in next week, I want to thank you guys, throughout the season, providing your therapy sessions for all of us after a loss and even after a win. But my second thing is I just want to remind everyone, listening, and all of us Twitter and armchair GMs, we want to critique everything, and surely this wasn't a perfect game, but I just want to enjoy this win. We got a win over a divisional opponent, have beat the Dolphins for the first time in a while. I just want to enjoy this one. I just want to encourage everyone else to just enjoy this.
Drink one for me.
Hey,
enjoy it. No, I mean,
big game next week. Playoffs.
Enjoy it.
Playoffs on the line.
I'm not big on enjoyment. Thanks anyway, though.
Listen, I'm
Smack
glad
dab in the
that we
category
can go
of the Monday
into the
night
last
game in Buffalo last year.
I'm glad we can go into the last game and it means something. For
sure.
You know?
100.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That part of it I will enjoy, but in terms of just, I'm not a big fan of enjoying things.
No, no,
it's not my.
Wow.
Like to experience them. And
What about your music show? Do you enjoy that?
Well, I don't know if you know what I do on that music show, but I talk about the music.
Yeah.
You know, and
And
then
he
I'll
plays
play
some of the
play
songs.
some
No,
of
but
the
you go
trivia.
behind the music. You
Sure.
like give people when
Quips. Liner notes?
Quips. You know, when Kanye wrote that song, he was,
Kanye.
you know,
he ain't
like,
playing Kanye on his station.
No.
Did I talk to you guys about my epiphany about the Mighty Mighty Bosstones last week?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, good.
Yeah. You don't have to tell us, even if you didn't.
Even if I probably
Knock
didn't,
on
but
it,
Paul just doesn't want me to talk about
I just said
it.
comma. That's what you said.
Knocked on wood, comma.
If I ever had
But
to,
if
I never
I-
had
It
to
was-
knock on wood.
It
comma,
was
but
Paul who actually broke it wide open. He said, it needs a comma. I said, you're right.
Yeah.
And
So I remember talking
How
about
come
it.
I didn't get more of a
Don't
reaction?
ever accuse me of not wanting to do nonsense.
How come I didn't get more of a reaction when I said, Beth, I hear you calling?
I wasn't sure. Is that a Kiss song?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't like Kiss.
Oh, okay.
Kiss's best song is Detroit Rock City, covered by Mighty Mighty Bosstones.
Oh.
That's their best song. That's an unpopular
I do like
opinion.
Beth.
I don't like
Because
Rush.
my wife's name is Beth.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
She's down at Manhattan Beach. That's a nice spot where she's at.
That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
my wife, though.
And
No.
she's a season ticket holder.
Yeah.
How does that work?
She puts them online.
She must
She
have a
sells
lot of
them.
money.
yeah.
She flies back for him or something.
Mark in Dumbarton, Scotland, wants to know, picking up on points regarding the decision not to kick the field goal on fourth down. The ball was on the 29-yard line, so it was a 47-yarder at the better end of the field. Pats were up 9 points. It was a terrible decision. If you kick, Miami needs 2 touchdowns. We missed. They take over on the 37. Made no sense. Symptomatic of the poor decisions we've seen all season. I like this real-time emailing from Mark in Scotland.
And if he chose to punt for that reason, I wouldn't have criticized it.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what I would have done. I think.
Now, if you want to go for it, go for it. Don't run this like cheesy like sprint roll trying to like get it. Yeah, I didn't like it.
I don't like any of it.
I don't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I don't like it at all.
Let's
I
go.
think it was funny.
Let's go back to California. What?
Well, I was just going to say, what do you think the issue with the kicking is? Do you think it's the long snapper, the holder, all of it? It's not Nick Folk, is it?
I think Nick Folk's in a little bit of a slump.
I think Nick Folk's in a little bit of a slump. He's never had a strong leg, but it seems to be even a little weaker than normal lately.
2 touchbacks today, though, on kickoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
2.
true. That's true. That's true. Greg in California. What's up, Greg?
7 fouls.
Hey guys, so you've all
17.
kind of been saying since there's a 7th seed now, it's kind of just making, but like if the Patriots get in, it's going to be kind of on a technicality and not, you know, a legit playoff berth. But my question is, if they hadn't choked away the last 2 games, they would be 10-6. So if they were already in,
I don't
do
think
you
they
feel
choked
any
away
more
the last
optimistic?
game. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that could go one way or the other. The NFL, like today, if Teddy Bridgewater doesn't break his finger, they could have lost.
Yeah, they didn't.
But I don't think they lost. They won.
They didn't choke away the last 2 games. They were playing for overtime in Las Vegas. No guarantee they would have won, and they were trailing when Ramondre Stevenson fumbled. I mean,
Well, they had the lead, and they let up that touchdown at the end.
No, I know, but that happens.
I know.
You know, it like I just think there's so like I got a lot of this week when I was my holiday fill-in work, Hardy, on your station. You know, they should be 10-5. They should be 11-4, and I'm like, okay, so if we're gonna play that game, like, can I say that they won a game on a punt return as time expired? That's a game that they shouldn't have won?
Yes.
Right.
No, I wouldn't, because I saw Marcus Jones return the punt for a touchdown.
Oh no, if you're
they made a like they deserve to win. Well, because
No,
but
if
like
you're
they
going to
easily
do-
could have lost the game.
If you're going to do that, then that's one that you can put in the loss column to balance things out.
I don't.
mean,
I just don't like.
They're not going to do that.
I think in general terms, like, I don't think that they won any games that they shouldn't have won, and I don't think they lost any games that they should have lost.
No.
They should have won the other way around. Like, I just think the NFL, these games come down a lot of times to the last 5 minutes, and someone executes. The Patriots haven't executed.
Yeah.
They didn't execute today down the stretch. Like, let's say it like that's been an issue for them.
And I just say, like, to the caller's point, like, I just don't want to see them back, like, lose to Buffalo. Like, if they go in and beat Buffalo and they get in the playoffs, like, they'll deserve to be there.
No, but his point is the seventh
seed
that
is
they
what
made.
it is. That's a whole nother debate.
That's the only way you're getting in now.
But I think, if they have to back in and they lose to Buffalo and then, 17 teams lose and then they get in, that feels a little bit.
Ryan on the email says he made up his mind on Mac Jones today. He said he's the next Tony Romo. He has moments where he shows a great football mind, whether it's swatting down a tip ball and trying to catch it instead of trying to catch it and then run. But his great football brain never seems to quite translate to great play. Saw him overthrow several guys today without any pressure on him. Thornton made a great catch on a very overthrown pass from Jones at one point.
I disagree. I thought that was a really good throw. I'll be honest. The deep ball down the sideline.
Over his shoulder?
I thought Thornton made that look ridiculously more difficult than it needed to be.
Is that the one he's talking about?
Yeah.
I
thought that was a really good throw.
Zoe said that's the best throw he's made all season.
I agree with Zoe, and I didn't know he said that. I thought Thornton made that catch a lot harder than it needed to be.
I watched it, and I thought that was phenomenal.
He threw that on the outside shoulder, down the sideline, gave himself room,
into double
gave
coverage.
the receiver room, and it wasn't an easy throw. I also really liked the throw to Henry.
Yeah, he threw him open.
On like kind of a deep over.
That was a great example of throwing a guy open because when he threw it was like, who's he throwing that to? And then all of a sudden, Henry appears.
The problem, I don't really, the Tony Romo thing, I've never seen him play like Tony Romo for 1 second. Tony Romo was an athletic quarterback who made all kinds of plays, and I don't see any similarity.
And he doesn't even hold on field goals.
And quite frankly, Ryan, he signs off by saying he'll make a great commentator one day. I really don't see that either. Mac.
With that,
wow. No.
I can't co-sign on any part
Any
of
of
that,
that.
really. How about Eldred in the Freightliner? Eldred, what's going on?
Hey, happy New Year, everybody. How y'all doing?
Same to you, buddy.
Happy New Year.
I finally get to watch a football game without being interrupted and everything. And that guy, that last email was my question. But since y'all kind of answered it.
Okay.
I didn't like I wonder why you didn't put Matt on the bad list. Because 20 for 33 for 203 yards. I understand the 2 touchdowns, but I'm seeing a lot of overthrow guys too, receivers or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't think he was bad. I didn't think he was good. I thought he was not on the list today. Evan thought he was bad.
Eldred, I'll explain it this way. I didn't see anything from Mac today that was any better or worse than what I've seen from him in the last several weeks. So that's why he didn't
Evan
get
thought
onto
he was
it.
bad.
Well,
Evan
Evan's in a big battle with a lot of people listening to our show.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, not our show, the Catch-22 show.
Oh, that's his own problem.
They're battling Evan right now.
Not surprised. He's only interested in his own show.
Yeah, they feel like he's being real condescending to them for not liking Mac, and so Evan's getting a lot of heat.
How's he handling it?
Yeah, but
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, couple throws. He overthrew a couple of them. I thought maybe just a little less touch or whatever, but I'm just wondering. And he wasn't pressured on a couple of those throws. He had time to throw it.
Yeah, I don't think he was great today.
No, it's
but
him.
But I do think he made some good throws, and that's why he's right in between.
Yeah, that's why I felt like it was Mac today. And if he was a little bit worse than what Mac, I would have had him on the down list if he was better. But, he made a few throws that were impressive, and then, he had some that he probably want back.
I just don't understand why we're not seeing, 3-step drop, out, ball out. 3-step drop, ball out.
Yeah.
We're not seeing any of that.
No.
Why? And I'm not talking about the sideline pass, the little quick.
I agree. Everything takes forever on this offense.
I'm just
There's
talking
no
boom, boom, boom,
pace to it.
And more of a rhythm. And well, that's the West Coast. Well, maybe we need to run a little West Coast.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of pace. It's just plodding and running plays.
Eldred,
my thing is look for another quarterback. I don't think he's the man either.
Okay.
Well, have a good one.
All right,
you're not alone.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Definitely not alone. A lot of people feel that way.
Gosh,
I think he gets another year.
See what Stidham's doing?
Yeah.
Stidham's actually played
Sticky.
well.
Thank you, Cyber Reason, presenters of the Patriots Postgame Show. Great defenders don't just play on the field. They're also protecting your company and data. Cyber Reason on a mission to end ransomware. Keep your business undefeated against cyber attacks. Learn more, cyberreason.com/ransom.
Touchview Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, Touchview also offers a built-in VC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes cyber reason and cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
$1 million for picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half of one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
TouchView Interactive from the Okers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in VC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes cyber reason and cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
$1 million for picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half of one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
Like, that should have been a touchdown, too.
I said it! Oh, my God. Paul?
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
I don't even remember what 90% of these things are.
I can never tell if Hardy's getting ready to yell at me or praise me for agreeing with it.
That's what makes it fun.
When have I ever yelled at you?
Oh, now he's getting. See, now you can't tell. He might yell at you for that.
Yeah, even when you said like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones thing, you're like, Paul doesn't want to. I'm like,
careful,
guy, I was right with you.
He's got a temper.
That's right with you last week.
I just like Hardy comes from professional radio, and then he has to get down in the dirt with us.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Doesn't sit well with him.
He's used to recording a 4-hour show in like 6 minutes, and now he's got to sit here and do the whole thing.
That's a different type. I wouldn't even call. I don't know what that is, but that's something different. Pat in Agawam joining us now on the Patriots postgame show. Patriots get the win today, 23-21 over the Dolphins at Gillette Stadium. Patty, what's going on?
I almost called the right score too. So I
got
something for Freddie and Hardy. I got something for you.
Okay.
But before I do that, last emailer, when he wrote in that Mac's got a good football brain, it got me thinking of Tropic Thunder, and Mac's new nickname should be Simple Mac.
Oh.
Simple Mac.
But anyways,
I digress.
That one fell flat. But
well, it's. I mean, it requires the knowledge of the movie. It requires.
I like Tropic Thunder, but I don't remember a thing about it.
Well, Simple Jack was the name of the movie that Ben Stiller did.
Careful.
Yeah, you can't even talk about it.
It's pretty
pretty funny though.
Hardy.
Yeah.
Non-football related.
Yeah.
Parasite is definitely Kiss's best song, number one, and Pictures to Prove It. Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. That's their best song. And Freddie, I think you and I need to start consulting a little bit more, because I may not have a good feel for the league, but I think I'm 15-1 in picking the Pats this year. The only loss I think I had was that Minnesota game.
Okay.
And I'm usually pretty dead nuts on with the score too.
You got a feel for the Pats. Yeah.
Yeah, I picked them 24-23 today, so only a few points.
There you go. I think that's
Deuce had I think the closest out of all of us at 24-20. I mean, that's very close to the final score. So
For
good
the
job
final
there.
time.
Paul was close, 21-17.
But it was just good to see him get a win.
Yeah.
I know that again against two backup quarterbacks, but who cares?
I'd rather see him win ugly than lose ugly.
Pat, if you can work in a couple of micro naps like I did in the third quarter, the game was quite enjoyable. You just have to be able to, allow yourself to sleep off some low points, and then you're fine. You can enjoy it. That's what I did. Randy in Alabama has something on the Bills-Bengals game. Could you explain it to Fred, please? Go ahead, Randy.
Yes, sir. Hey, guys. Paul, I love you, mean it. Going to have to join Fred on this one to prod around about the Bills' motivations next week.
Okay.
You said a Bills loss tonight is meaningless. Doesn't a loss then put Kansas City up one game for the 1 seed? And if the KC result next week is determined before the Pats-Bills game,
that will not be the
would
case.
knock out the Bills?
That will not be the case. Well, has that been?
No.
Yeah. So my guess is Buffalo and Kansas City are going to play at the same time to avoid that.
I thought you guys talked about that maybe in the past, and I wasn't sure if you guys knew the rules about that or
Well,
how that
the
works.
Week 18 slate has not been formulated yet.
The times.
I mean, the game could be on Saturday still, technically.
Yeah.
And there'll only be a one-game gap between the two teams if Buffalo loses tomorrow night. So Buffalo would have the ability to win in Week 18 and have Kansas City lose, which, by the way, is not far-fetched. They're at Vegas. So that's a game. That's a game that they could win. Vegas could win that game. So if they tie,
Kansas City plays first though in the
yeah, but why would Kansas City play first?
I don't know. I'm not
They're,
in the league. So
they're in Las Vegas, so that game's going to be my guess, and this is just a strict guess because I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah.
My guess is both the Patriots and the Chiefs will play at 4:25 next Sunday.
Okay, I appreciate
That's what they do on Week 18.
Because the game in Las Vegas, they're not going to play it at 1 o'clock.
Right. All right, Randy.
But Randy, we don't have that. The game times have not been set yet, so that could be. I mean, maybe they will do that and have the Chiefs play, and if the Chiefs were to win, yeah. But I don't really foresee. I think there's a better chance that they don't really care about Buffalo, and they'll just say Buffalo is going to need to play to win anyway.
Yeah.
So they could play Buffalo at 1 and wait for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But I don't see them doing it the other way around.
Probably obvious point to make. Buffalo's playing tomorrow. They're probably going to play Saturday, right? They're not going to make Buffalo turn around and play a short week like that.
Correct.
Right?
But if ever there was a time that would happen, it would be next week.
What? Oh, you can't play the Patriots on a short week?
We're going to hear from Bill Belichick right now.
Okay.
He goes on for quite a while, so we'll take this until it becomes
tedious,
monotonous. Give it a name. But here is your head coach. And do we have to thank anybody? No, we don't have to. We just roll right into the head coach. Here he is.
Obviously we had a couple of tough weeks, but I thought those guys really competed well all week in terms of preparation and studying. Obviously had some moving parts that we were dealing with. New guys coming on the team. Not sure about the availability of some other players. Some played, some didn't. But just the overall resiliency and determination that the team, as a group and the staff showed, I thought was really, really good this week. And so battled all the way through it. It's big plays in the game, like there always are. It was good to come out on the positive side of them today, and we'll see what happens next week. But Miami is what we thought they were. Explosive team. They certainly caused some problems, and we were just able to make enough plays to win, and so it's good. It's a good feeling. It's been a while since we beat them, so it's definitely good to finally get on the right side of that ledger.
Hi, Bill.
How big of a spark was Kyle and what he was able to do there for the entire team? Seemed to wake the stadium up a little bit too. And it's the second and third 3 weeks. How difficult is that to do from your perspective? And explain to us what Kyle has the ability to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a great play. A little bit like Marcus's play. It was a great run. The interception was was a good play, a good catch, and all that. But he made a lot of yards on his own. Like I said, like Marcus did last week, breaking tackles there at midfield or 40-yard line, whatever it was, and cutting back. But, so we all know Kyle's a very, very explosive, athletic player. Just done a great job for us, jamming receivers, playing the run, tackling, making big plays. And, when he gets his hands on the ball, he's a hard guy to get. And there's not many guys out there that are going to catch him from behind on offense. Whether it's Detroit scoop and score play or, his interceptions here he's had the last couple of weeks or last few weeks, so really he helped us. And then his big play with Hopkins, knocking the ball off of him, for the fumble in Arizona that McMillan got. So, he's been involved in a lot of those big plays, and it's obviously really helped us.
Bill, you touched on it a little bit, but just the resiliency of this group after a couple of tough weeks. The guys were just saying how nice it was to come out on today with their backs really against the wall.
Yeah, I think that sums it up. It's good feeling. Guys worked hard, and we have something to show for it here today. So it's a good thing.
Bill, was a New Year's resolution this year to get a win?
Yeah, sure.
On the last offensive play before the kneel downs, the throw to Jacoby, David had said that the play that was executed was different from what was called. What did you see from what happened from the play call to what was ultimately executed on the field? Like, what did Mac change on that play with the throw to Jacoby?
All right, so the last offensive play before the kneel down was the sack. Oh, the touchdown to Jacoby. Yeah, they were in a goal line defense. We shifted out. We had a couple options on the play. Jacoby was obviously one of the options, and Mac took that when there were some other options on the play. I would say, in practice, it probably hasn't gone to him too many times. But Mac saw the matchup, and similar to the 2-point play that we hit. Was it last week? Whenever it was, a couple weeks ago, against Oakland, right? Yeah, different but kind of similar to that. So it's a one-on-one play. If he likes the matchup, then he can go out there, and then that just trumps the other part of the play.
Off of that, what did you think of the job Mac did today? Not just on that last scoring drive, but throughout the game.
Well, we were. A little inconsistent offensively, so there were some good things. Miami played quite a bit of man coverage on the first drive, and then Josh switched to the zone coverage with a couple blitzes. He sprinkled in a couple blitzes, and we didn't do so well against that. And then we had a long drive. I know it was 90 yards, whatever it was. Convert a couple third downs, big play to Jacoby, and Hunter had a good day for us on third down as well overall against man coverage. So they mixed it up pretty good like they usually do. So man to zone to some heavy blitz looks, back to zone, then a little bit of man third down. So we got them some, they got us some. That's kind of the way it goes there. They did a good job mixing it up, and but we were able to convert enough to combined with Kyle's score, convert enough to win.
Just on the bigger picture with Jacoby, it feels like through the years he's evolved so much to fit what you guys need on offense, whether it's slot, and now he's really taken a step forward in the red zone too. What does that say about him? What has it said about him over the last few years to get this far?
Yeah, well, Jacoby's, had a career like some other players at that position have had here. Rookie free agent, wasn't drafted, low expectations, came in, made the team. Not really sure how good it was going to be. Kept improving, kept working. Quarterback going to receiver. learned a lot. Played with some other good players and coaches, and he's worked hard and gotten better every year and expanded what he can do. So whether it's blocking the running game, run option type routes, go down the field, make plays in single coverage outside. He's got a good feel. He's got good concentration. He's smart. He's tough. He's come through for us in a lot of big situations. But his progression's been pretty steady incline since he got here as a coming out of college at NC State after he converted from quarterback to receiver. He just works hard and keeps grinding and keeps getting better.
Mike Reese in the front.
On the sack that Mac took in the fourth quarter from the 29-yard line, how much consideration was there to kicking in that situation? What was the thought process to not kick? I think it would have been.
Thought process to try to pick up the first down.
And was
it's
that
a long kick?
How about the play? Like, what was that the play that you wanted there?
Was it the play we wanted? Yeah, we called the play.
Zach Cox on your far right.
Bill, you touched on it a little bit off the top, but how would you assess the way your cornerbacks and the secondary as a whole performed today with some of those key pieces out?
Yeah, played really well as a group. I think that our more experienced players back there, obviously John, Miles, really did a good job of not only stepping up but also helping Tay and Q, some of the communication back there. I mean, our safeties played a lot of safeties today. Played a lot of 3 safety calls and some 4 safety calls where they're all on the field together. Tried to jam the receivers. I thought overall we did a decent job of that and didn't give up a lot of explosive plays, which, I mean, they've had a lot of them, probably as many as anybody in the league, 40-yard passes, and they've had a bunch that have gone for, 60 and 70. So, did a good job of jamming the receivers, keeping the ball in front of us, converted on some third downs. But I thought the leadership from the safety group plus John and Miles, was just really good, getting things organized. Again, this is a team that used a lot of motion, misdirection, formation change up, different personnel groups between the tight ends, some 2-back sets, some fullback and halfback, 2 halfbacks, 3 receivers, 2 receivers, 2 receivers in Jaceki, 2 receivers and not Jaceki. I mean, there's a lot of movement on that. So those guys really did a good job. We didn't really have a lot of coverage mistakes. I mean, they hit a few passes on us, of course, which they do against everybody, a couple of pop passes and play actions. But overall, a lot of balls went to the backs and on checkdowns and things like that. And those guys, were hard to tackle, but at least we were able to keep the game, under control that way. I think it's better than 60-yard touchdowns. So, thought our secondary did a good job. Mike, Brian.
All right, when we start talking about checkdowns, I think we're good.
And that's what Freddie was talking about when Freddie first came in the show. It's like they kept everything in front, and they were able to eliminate the chunk kind of plays. I think that was key.
And that could be why they didn't get a lot of pressure, because that wasn't the focus. The focus was get as many guys in coverage as possible.
Well, that's why I thought the run defense was as impressive as it was, because I don't think that they could devote extra bodies to stopping the run.
Right.
Yeah.
Email here, Mark from Cheddar, who says, I'm only listening while watching Red Zone, so I couldn't see Fred's gleeful smile when he said, quote, and he doesn't even hold on field goals, when Paul was correctly dismissing the listener's comparison to Romo. However, it is these moments that make Fred sneaky good in the non-host role, which is kind of a backhanded compliment, saying you're not a great host, but sneaky good as a non-host.
No, he's saying I'm good in both.
I know. I think what he's saying is, I think you should be offended.
Tools. If he was Eric, I would say it's time for a host off. We're going to have a host off.
I don't know how we would do that.
Because that's what I would do to Eric when he started feeling a little confident. I would put him back and say, "Okay, you think you're a good comedian? Let's have a joke off."
Puts him in his place.
A choke off or a joke off?
A joke off.
Because a choke off is something else. Normally in summer football.
Yeah, and that's where I have my safety word.
What does it look like? How many calls you take?
Tangerine!
How many calls you take in 10 minutes? How many emails? How many emails are you going to read? That's it? You're only going to read 3 emails? Come on.
Exactly. Let us step aside here momentarily. We want to thank the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism, where as a host, Fred would often say it's visit-ma.com when it's not. It's visit-ma.com.
write the copy.
But whatever. You write the copy?
I don't write the copy. I read the copy.
Do you approve the copy?
No.
Who approves it?
Corporate sales.
Great memories are made in Massachusetts, no matter how you choose to make them. Indoors, outdoors, scenic views, or city vibes. Solo, family style, whatever moves you, whatever the season. Plan your perfect Massachusetts getaway at visitma.com.
Where would you get away to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Now, in the non-host role, he's interjecting before we go to break. Where would you get away to?
I was just going to give visitma.com a little extra.
Okay.
Where would you get away to in Massachusetts right now? This time of the year.
I would still go to Ocean Edge. It's beautiful down there. I love going down to Brewster, Mass. And spending some time down at Ocean Edge.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it down there. Can't go wrong with the Cape.
The Cape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's dead this time of year.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Now can we break non-host?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Visitma.com.
TouchView Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in VC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar. The bar and the handle removes unseen dirt and debris ahead of the blades for effortless shaving in one efficient stroke.
Defending against cyber attacks requires seeing in the dark, understanding and ending every threat to your organization on computers, mobile, and the cloud. It takes Cyber Reason. End cyber attacks from endpoints to everywhere.
$1 million for picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half of one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
TouchView Interactive.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
What would your CD handle be, Fred?
Boss Man.
No.
Jake Steele.
Jake Steele.
Jake Steele.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
All right, quickly we'll go to Mercedes in California, and then we'll listen to Mac Jones for as long as we can take it. Mercedes, what do you got for us here on the Patriots Postgame Show? Mercedes? Oh, that's a shame.
Did you ever see License to Drive?
Mercedes. Parts of it.
What's Heather Graham?
Maybe you were
Heather
pronouncing
Graham.
his or her name wrong, and they didn't know they were up.
I checked in with Matt LePan, who had originally spelled Mercedes C-A-D-E-S, and he thought that's what
Mercedes?
I was Mercedes. But no, it is Mercedes. Let's hear from Mac Jones.
Okay.
Here he is.
Start with Dan Roach in the back.
Mac, just a thought on what you guys were able to do as a team, but also was that maybe your best drive of the season when you guys put together there to take the 23-14 lead as an offense?
Yeah, I think it was a great day here, just fighting through a lot of different things on offense. I didn't play very well in the middle of the game, but sorry, bear with me, my voice is kind of going, but I didn't play as good as I want to in the middle of the game, and I thought our guys just kept fighting, and we made some big plays and some big moments, and that's what the NFL is all about. So obviously defense did a great job putting us in a good spot, and special teams, and obviously, at the end of the game there, special teams came up huge with Hunter getting that onside kick. So takes everybody. We work on all those things, and really proud of the guys for all the effort today.
Mac, I wanted to ask you about the third down throw to Jacoby with him starting in the backfield. Just, when did that get in the playbook, and what did you see on the play?
Yeah, I think it was a really good play call. Just kind of give him a little bit of a different presentation and kind of run one of our core plays. So it was cool to be able to do that, and he had a great route, and obviously had plenty of time to throw it and go through my reads. So that was a big conversion. We had a few, big conversions, but a lot of things I'm sure we can clean up, and just going to watch the film and see what we can do better. But had to get the win, and we found a way to do it. So that's what the NFL is all about.
Alan Siegel on the left.
Mac, it takes a lot to be a successful receiver in this league. Tyquan Thornton, obviously a rookie. What have you seen from him from the beginning of the season to now and the plays he made today in terms of his ability to now run routes and be where you need him to be in terms of those routes?
Yeah, I think he's a really good route runner, really fast, smart kid, works hard, doesn't complain about anything, just goes out there and does what he's supposed to do. And we have a lot of guys like that on our team, and I'm just really excited to grow with him. He's a young player, I'm a young player, and we're working every day to get that chemistry. So he's done a great job. Definitely, we're going to watch the film together, and I always like to tell him things to work on. And same thing with him. He is very comfortable about telling me, hey, put it here, put it there. Let's try this, let's try that. So as a young player, definitely impressed with him and his ability to communicate at a really high level, during the games by telling me what he sees too. So love our receivers and all those guys. They fight hard for each other, fight hard for the team, and that's what it's all about.
Mac, would you mind just kind of giving us a little bit of your view on the go-ahead touchdown? Because obviously we saw Jacoby move out, let you know he was open. Just talk us through it a little bit.
Yeah, I think we shifted and stuff, and puts a lot of stress on the defense, and been working on that play for quite some time here, and finally got to do it in the game. So just a heads-up play, and sometimes with the shifts and motions, that's what happens on defense. It's just hard to communicate and all that, but definitely made a great catch. Those are sometimes the hardest because you see a guy running out looking at you. You don't want to put it on a line so that he can intercept it. So definitely made a great play, and it was a good situational play.
Mac, how grateful and impressed have you been with the team's defense and just the fact they've been able to, help you guys along this season and keep you in a lot of games?
Yeah, I think, obviously when I first came here, I was really fired up because I knew that we had such a great defense even last year and this year and just throughout history. So all those guys play hard, really well coached. We have great scheme and just great players. So definitely want to be able to produce more on offense, and it starts with me as the quarterback, and I know we've been saying that a lot, but at the end of the day, we just got to keep trying to win games and play with each other and try and finish games strong and be able to score more points so that they don't have to do that part for us.
All right, there is Mac Jones, your Patriots quarterback after the win today, giving credit to the defense. We should give credit to Dietrich Wise for joining us earlier here, and that was good to talk to him after a good day for the Pats defense. And the important thing is the win, as they live to fight another week. And what do you think happens next week, Fred?
Wow.
Well, it all depends.
That
on what
size spoke volumes.
No, I mean,
it depends. Do the Bills have anything to play for next week?
They might.
We haven't figured that out yet, Hardy.
They might.
We're going to get there.
Yeah, it's a tall task. It's a tall task.
It's a lot to ask.
But
it's a lot to ask.
Think about it this way, right? When the Patriots were owning the East, right, and it was the last week of the season, and you needed to play well, you played well, right? The Bills they're now the class of the league. One of the best teams in the league. They're going to come out and they're going to play well.
Yeah, and the Patriots, I mean, let's face it, didn't have to play all that well that many times in the last week of the season. I mean, the Patriots were
not. No, but when they needed to.
Well, and the
in
other
December,
thing is, it's hard to imagine.
In the month of December, sure, but like
at the end of the season.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine the Patriots winning a game without playing, in Buffalo without playing really well.
Yes.
And they really haven't played very well.
Yeah.
And the balance of the season, their wins have been like today. Well, they do just enough. They don't blow you away. They do just enough. I think you have to blow them away.
Yeah, I mean,
to beat Buffalo in Buffalo.
Like at halftime, 7-7, and I talk to a lot of writers. You're walking around, and these aren't the writers that are like the hot take writers. These are and it's like this is what we've seen all season.
Yeah,
this is it. This is who they are.
Yeah.
I
said earlier this week that this whole season's felt kind of like an extension of that Buffalo loss, and now here we are going back to Buffalo in January, kind of not a playoff game, but a playoff game for the Patriots. So, how do they stack up? Do they have anything at this point? I mean, I think we all felt against the Bills when they were here that they were just not really that engaged and just kind of toying with the Patriots a little bit. So, can they put up any kind of a fight? Can it be any different than last year was? Can it be interesting?
And I'm glad you brought up last year, because at the end of last year, both sides of the ball just failed.
Yep.
At least this year, the defense is still playing,
Making
really
plays,
well,
making
keeping them in
plays.
games, making it competitive. So in that respect, I'd say this year's better than last year.
We'll see.
But offensively,
Because I don't think they were better against Buffalo, and I don't think they were better against Minnesota. Like I don't think they were better against the teams that had their starters. Like so, we'll see what it is now. Fred's right. We'll see if we see their starters.
The Bills have
Who
shown
knows?
the Bills have shown just enough vulnerability this season
They have.
to make me think that it's not only they're playing for something next week. There's a chance.
Oh, by the way,
There's a chance.
Kansas City's shown vulnerability as well.
This is much more than
You
Buffalo.
know, Cincinnati
This is
may
the
be the
league. Anything could happen.
Yes,
You never know.
Cincinnati might be the hottest team in the AFC right now.
I agree.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Like these teams are not infallible. Like I remember the Patriots. One of those December games way back when, going to Miami to play a 2-win team and coughing up a 2-score lead in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Sure.
So anything could happen.
I just think so much is on Josh Allen too now, and I wonder playoffs coming, pressure, weather. I mean, it feels Buffalo of all the teams, even with Mahomes, feels like Buffalo needs Josh Allen to basically be the man to carry.
Do we
them
have
the
a
whole way.
7-day forecast for Buffalo? Do we know what
Oh.
what might happen?
Come on,
Well,
Snow.
While Deuce is looking that up, Paul, your final prediction: when will we meet back here? Do you think for that Buffalo
Sunday,
game?
Sunday at 2.
You're thinking a 2:00 pregame for a 4:25
game.
For a
Be my
4:25
guess.
kick on Sunday is what we're guessing for next
Probably.
week. Okay.
It looks
When's
right now.
that come out, Fred? You're in the high-level meetings. When
Tomorrow.
when are we finding this out?
Oh no,
Or they'll let the Monday night
Yeah,
game go.
after the Monday game.
Right now it just says 36, partly cloudy. There is some rain and then maybe a little bit of snow during the
Oh,
week,
that
but it
lake
looks like the
effect
weekend's
snow.
okay. You never know though in Buffalo. Anything can happen. The weather.
All right. Well, thank you to everybody who called in, to all our emailers, including Mark, who emailed one more time to say, Hardy, do not take the bait on a host-off. Fred would crush you. on a host-off. So,
Wow.
you know what? That's off the table. I rescind my my yes. I don't want any part of you, sir.
He's so good he doesn't even talk into the mic.
Final score for the final time: Dolphins 21, Patriots 23. That's for you, Paul. Thank you for listening and watching.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.